Everybody, so I was going to do a video today on how to connect with your abs, but I think I will do that one next week, because today I want to talk about something that my 6-year-old son, who is in kindergarten this year, this is his first year of like real school, and he brought home a little packet of craisins. And when I first saw it, I was like, oh, okay, craisins, whatever, not the best, but, because dried fruit, which a lot of people don't know, dried fruit is basically just like sugar. Dried fruit doesn't really have a whole lot of nutritional value in it, but I was like, okay, whatever, craisins. And because I'm not super strict about that kind of thing. I'm not the type of person who's like, don't give your kids sugar ever kind of person. But so I was like, whatever. And so then I was talking to him about it, and he said, oh, they're strawberry flavored. And I was like, strawberry flavored? Why do you need to flavor craisins? Craisins are already sweet and good. Like, don't need to, why put extra flavoring in there? And I wish I still had the label and the package, but he threw it away, so I don't have it anymore. But so I was like, all right, fine. I'm going to look at the back of this thing and see what's actually in it, if it's flavored, because really the only ingredients in a packet of craisins should be dried cranberries, right? Well, I look at this thing, and the first ingredient is not craisins. The first ingredient is sugar. The second ingredient is dried cranberries, and then it has some preservatives and crap. So I saw this and I was appalled. It was 110 calories and there were like 25 grams of sugar in this tiny packet, and that's probably not even including the sugar that the actual craisins themselves contain. That was just the sugar that was poured on top of them to make them taste like frickin' strawberries. So, yeah, and so not only was there that, that alone was appalling, but then, and this is why you really need to read your nutritional labels on food, because the front of the package makes it look all like it said like, craisins, and it's like all fluffy and pretty colors, and it has like no artificial colors or flavors on it, so it makes you think like, oh, this is healthy. There's no artificial flavors and colors, and it's fruit. And then on the back, beside the nutrition label that, said 25 grams of sugar and that the first ingredient is sugar, there's a little chart that shows like, your food, how much of what types of food, like your nutrients and stuff for the day. And it has on there that the USDA suggests having, so many servings of fruit. And this package, it counts as a half a serving of fruit. I'm sorry, but a package of fruit that has the first ingredient listed as sugar should not count as a serving of frickin' fruit. It's a dessert. It's basically candy. Do not feed it to your kids. This stuff should not be passed out in schools. And I've had this discussion with a friend of mine who happens to be a teacher. She teaches 3rd grade, and I think she taught, first grade at her other school. She's taught a couple different schools, and she has told me about what the types of food that they serve the children, and it's just her the way she described it, her description of what they give kids for like breakfast. Most kids get both their breakfast and their lunch at school now. And what they get for breakfast, she said, is basically like a wrapped up gas station muffin, a packet of those disgusting craisins, and a juice box, or they get chocolate milk with all 3 meals, because it's an option at all 3 meals. And what kid isn't going to choose chocolate milk at every meal? 2 meals and a snack. So we've really, got to be paying attention to what our children are eating at school, and it's, I know some places are trying, it's gotta change. It's really gotta change, and then we wonder why kids have attention deficit disorder, and, they're acting out, and they can't concentrate at school, and they're all, obese and have diabetes. I mean, I heard a statistic today that 1 in 4 high school boys, teenage boys, 1 in 4 of them have diabetes. That is terrifying. It should be appalling to everyone that, we're teaching, like, having these things handed out at school is basically teaching the kids that this is healthy. This is how you should be eating. It even says it on the package that the USDA recommends this as a serving or half a serving of fruit. And there is nothing healthy about it. And so you have this generation, multiple generations at this point, of kids growing up thinking that this is how you're supposed to be eating. And then we wonder why we have an obesity epidemic in this country. It's ridiculous and it's insane. And unfortunately, the same children that are eating 2 meals and a snack every day at school, getting their food subsidized through the school system, and eating this stuff that the school system is telling them is healthy, that they're learning is healthy, are the same kids that don't have, they're low income, probably not as educated, their families aren't as educated, they don't have access to good food at home either. And we're just perpetuating this cycle and making it worse and worse and worse. And it's such a disservice to our children to, it all starts with food. And the more I research and the more I look into diet, the more I am discovering that so many things can be, just goes back to diet and exercise and, but instead of turning to diet and exercise and looking at what people are eating, instead we're just popping pills. We're looking to pharmaceuticals to help us, instead of going, obviously there are some things that you need pharmaceuticals for. I'm not saying that there aren't, but I think a lot of things can be, look at your diet, look at how much you exercise or how little you exercise. And it's the same with kids, when you have to change, because diabetes used to be, there was the juvenile diabetes and the adult diabetes, and the juvenile diabetes was type 1. And they had to change the names, because they changed the names from juvenile to type 1 and adult onset to type 2, because so many kids all of a sudden were starting to get diabetes. And it's because of our diet and our sedentary lifestyle. And these kids are, it makes me really upset. I was very upset when I saw this. It was from a couple days ago. And it's unfortunate. It's really unfortunate that, and a lot of people have said to me, well, you have to educate them at home, and you do. And there does need to be, people have to take responsibility for themselves, and but we're talking about kids, and we're talking about school where they spend most of their time and eat a majority of their food. And they may go home and not have parents that have the education or the means to be able to feed them what they should be eating. And it's really unfortunate that then we have this type of thing, in the schools as well. So anyway, that's my rant for the day. I just got very worked up over it. And it just proved to myself that I need to pay more attention and do better when it comes to my son's diet and, what he puts in his body. And, that's all that I can do, is help to educate him, and hopefully in my work educate the people that come to me for training and advice. And so I hope that you took something away from this, that it is really important, and we've got a terrifying ahead of us is something, kind of unprecedented, that the human species, as a species, that we have never experienced, with the incredible amount of food that is available, and yet so many people are obese and yet malnourished. This has never happened in human history, and it's kind of amazing that it's happening, that food is abundant, yet everyone has nutritional deficiencies, and it's amazing. So I hope you enjoyed this. I hope you got something out of it, and I hope you all have a wonderful day. Think about what goes into your body, and think about how you feel after you eat what you eat. That's the first step towards realizing what makes you feel good and what doesn't make you feel good. And the ultra sugary stuff, you'll find that it doesn't make you feel so good. I can almost guarantee it. Processed stuff, ultra sugary stuff, it's not good for you. So anyway, whole foods. Eat whole foods, cook. I hope you'll have a wonderful day, and I will see you all next week. Bye.